Yo, what's up? I'm Frank Bello from Anthrax, and you're watching Loud TV. Turn it up! Well, it's the second day of the tour here in Paris, and yesterday was insane. Sold out. I don't know if you probably don't know this, but this tour is 95 to 96% sold out now, which is great to hear in advance. So they expect it to go clean across the board. So we're pretty excited to be on it and be part of it. You know, it's craziness. I look a little hungover because I am. Oh, well, when I was a child, there was two things I wanted to be. I was a musician and a baseball player. I played baseball through high school, and music took over for me. That was it for me. I always knew music was my dream. I got very lucky along the way to have a career in music because it's not easy to have a career in music. I got very lucky. I worked very hard, but I think you also need a lot of luck. And I think I've been very lucky along the way to be doing it for 32 years now, especially with one band. With one band, it's been a great run, knock wood. And we're still having fun. We come out with a new record early next year. We're very, very excited about it, and I think we're in a good place right now. So I'm pretty excited about the future for Anthrax. Nothing is easy. Look, we could be digging ditches. The way I look at life, I'm lucky enough to play music. I have friends who have day jobs at home, aren't happy. I'm lucky enough to say I love what I do. And if you love what you do, man, you win. That's the way I look at it. I'm lucky. I wake up every day. I get to play a bass for a living. Come on, I'm very lucky, and I appreciate it. I'm very thankful for that. My grandparents, my father's parents were, and they came over, and I kept their work ethic. I think that's important for my grandparents. They had a great work ethic, and I believe you have to work to get where you want to go. And I want to, even my child, I have a 9-year-old son. I'm instilling that in him that you have to work for what you want in life, and I think that's important. I think that's what Anthrax has. I think we have a great work ethic. We work for everything we get. You know, it's not going to come to you unless you work for it. So that's the way it is in life.
It's an old school mentality, I would say, but the good one.
But it's a good one. It's one of the old school mentalities that really work time after time. It's one of the old school mentalities that really work time after time. If you don't work for what you want, man, it's not. Nobody hands anything to you. Life is, and look, being older as I am now and understanding this, you've lived a little bit of life, you understand nothing is handed to you. You have to work for everything. We're working for everything right now. I mean, you would think it gets easier, but now it's a different climate in music, you know, whatever music business there is now, you know, and you have to work for everything. Look, we're on a 7-week, this is the second show of a 7-week tour. There's a lot. You know, nobody wants to work consistently for 7 weeks. Being on the road away from your family and waking up on a tour bus and looking for a toilet, all that good stuff. But this is what we do. This is what the life we've chosen, so we'll work. My upbringing, I grew up in the Bronx, New York. You know, I grew up with my mom and dad split. When I was young, so I went to go live with my grandmother. And I grew up with Charlie Benanti, and my drummer here. We grew up together in New York, and very musical. Charlie got me into music. And I credit him for that because I'm thankful for that. And we grew up playing, jamming together and stuff like that. And then Anthrax came along. We started playing together in that band, and it's been since. But I love my upbringing now. I understand how lucky I was when I was younger. You know, it's not everybody gets the, you know, after your parents split, there's no money. there's no money there. So I worked in a deli. I worked in a deli for after school. I used to go to school, worked in a deli, paid for my bass, learned how to play bass. I used to buy my Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and Rush albums right after with my money I made from the deli. And that's how I learned how to play. I listened to my idols, Geezer, Steve Harris, and Geddy Lee. Sorry, I'm a little hungover. But it's been, and those were my trainers, and I just fell in love with bass and music. So that was it for me, man. And it's been, from then on, same thing I feel the same now today. Well, I didn't want to do anything after that. I wanted vengeance. That's what I wanted, quite honestly, but I couldn't do that. I promised my mother I would be good, and I did. What I did was, I think 10 days after my brother's death, Anthrax went to Japan. We had a tour, and I was going to stay home from the tour, but my mother said to me, I think it's good for you to go and get your head clear. And that's what I did. I was not okay in my mind, but I did. And thankfully, music, again, music got me through it. And without music, that's why I think music is a gift to everybody. Because even in the worst times of your life, something like that, music really helped me see things will get easier. It's never going to get better for good. It's never going to take the pain away, but it'll make it a little bit easier along life. So I believe in music, man. It's a drug. It's a great drug that we're handed, and a gift. After we tell them. The great thing about it is,
20%,
yeah,
30%?
because people, when they start looking into that song, Antisocial, Trust was a great band. We loved Trust before. That's why we covered the song. Charlie got me into the band Trust, and when we heard the song, I said, of course we got to do this. And now it became one of our biggest songs in the set. People love that song, and I'm glad that we can give them some notoriety, because Trust, people need to know that band. They were a great, great band. So when we play that, even tonight, it's going to be crazy, especially Paris. France is huge. So I'm just glad to put a spotlight on Trust. I think that's great, So I look forward to that, always. I'm very excited because it's been a while. It's been a while since worship music. Now you have to understand, from our perspective, we came up with worship music, and thankfully, and thank you God, people have really taken to it and said, for people to say, a lot of people said it was our best work to date. After 30 years means a lot to us. So we felt like, as fans, we want to put out the best product, best music, and that's what we think we've finally, after nitpicking these songs, we really took them apart and really took our time with them. I think as fans that we are, I think this is the time to let this record go. So to let it out and make people hear it. And we couldn't be more, I can't wait to play these songs. I honestly can't wait to play these songs live, because you just feel as a fan how people are going to react to them, because it's like, yes, let's do this. Let's do this. It's a lot of energy, a lot of energy. Jay Rustin, he's the fifth Beatle. Yeah. We call him the fifth Beatle because Jay was with us from the beginning of the writing. It was very important to have him there because I think Jay has a great ear for Anthrax. And he has a great ear as a producer anyway, but he knows how to talk to us, and he's really honest. Nah, no, that works better. And it's easier that way, because sometimes you're not sure. What do you think? Which one's better? Even in my bass stuff, I said, Jay, he's a bass player. So I'll ask him, does this work? Try the other one, it's better, and he's honest. So Jay is definitely an Anthrax member at this point, We wrote a lot of songs, but it's very hard. It's like picking your children, right? It's really hard to choose the songs, but there's going to be 11 songs on the record, and there's going to be other stuff later on, B-sides and stuff like that. But Man, it's power-packed, and just from the people who've heard it before, people are very excited about it. So I'm happy, man. I'm stoked because, look, Anthrax is around in 2015 with a record ready to come out in 2016. We're doing the Slayer tour. We go right out. We do another. We start in America in January again. Then we go on the Iron Maiden tour, South America, for a full month with those guys, and we're booked until next year. So it's all good. Yeah, it's been, thank God. And look, I think it's two different bands. When John was in the band, I loved that band too. But I think that was a different Anthrax, and I think this is a different Anthrax. But I love both. I can't say I don't like one. I like both. I was in both bands, and I still had a great time with great songs, great singing, great everything. So for me, in my career, I think that was two separate bands, but two great bands. I'm lucky enough to be part of them. Joey, I love Joey. Joey, have you heard some of the new stuff, what he's done? I think Joey Belladonna on this record is singing better than ever now. It's, some of it like, wow, just as a fan, right? I'm like, yeah, man, it gets me into it. I'm like, we gotta do this live. We gotta do this live, you know? Anthrax has always been out live. Putting out the record and doing this thing live. I can't wait to play a lot of these new songs. Woo, can't wait, man. Stoked. I know I sound too excited, but I'm just saying, hopefully you'll have the same feeling. The people out there feel the same way when they hear it. I hope they do.